Chrome.runtime API. So this is very powerful API. So this API basically it will be useful to communicate to have a communication between different components of the Chrome extension. So in this video we'll break down and we'll learn that how we can use this API. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So Chrome.runtime API. So this API is basically it is useful to have a communication between different components of this extension, Chrome extension. And what I mean by have a communication between different components. So to deep dive into that, let's have a PPT so I can explain you better. So before we move into practical, let's get some theory or some portion of the explanation gets clear. So this is chapter 5 of Chrome extension series, and section 1 is to explore the extension lifecycle. So as we said, like we want to have a communication between different components of the application, not application, basically Chrome extension. So this Chrome extension, if you remember, this we have discussed in earlier videos. So this is if suppose this is a Chrome extension. So there are some parts or some portions. So the first part is this pop-up of this extension, and this is managed by the pop-up HTML file, the style sheet file of this HTML file, and then we have something called popup.js, and it is not necessary to name it as popup.js, but there is some popup.js file, let's assume for now. So to manage the look and style and functionality of this, these are the things that is being held the responsible. And now there is this complete separate file from this pop-up of extension, which is web page. So that is separate from this extension, and it can be managed by Chrome scripting API, and either it is manageable by content script, or it can be modified by or through this content script and Chrome.scripting APIs. Now there is this third part which is separate from all of these, which is background script. So that is completely separate from both of this. So these are the different parts, and for some reason there might be some case that we want to have some communication. So let's say first for the example scenario, let's assume that there is some background activity that we are monitoring, and according to those background monitorings we want to have some things changed over here or over here on the web page. So this is only happen this will only be possible if we have some communication of these different components. So as these are separate from each other, we need to have some kind of communication. So that's the basically need of this Chrome.runtime API. So how they talk? Let's discuss that. So before we actually talk about how they talk, the simple answer for the problem is through message passing. So the components can talk through message passing, right? So that's the basic answer. That's the simple answer, and this is the extension lifecycle. So this is being taken reference from the Google's page, Google's official page. And if you don't want to get into much detail, just know that there are these many stages: active, passive, hidden, frozen, discarded, hidden, and terminated. And just get these things sorted out, that what are the stages that it goes through, right? And I'll not explain this much in much detail, but it is necessary as we are managing the Chrome runtime, or we are managing the message passing. So these are the events that you might want to have what you can say message passed. So before, let's say the application is even active, you want to pass the message. So that is only possible if you know the life cycle of this particular application. So this you need to take care. But for sake of simplicity, we are not going into much detail of this life cycle as this particular point. Now section 2 is to learn about Chrome runtime. So this is the basic code structure of how you can have or how you can use Chrome runtime. So basically there are just two things: send message and on message. So send message is used to send some message, and basically this on message dot at listener will be used to receive some message, right? So the basic thing that you need to take care is when you use chrome runtime dot send message. So there are two things. The first thing is the message that you want to pass, and when you get some response, so this will be an asynchronous or callback function. So basically, when you get some response, so what you need to do, so that is you, for that you use send message, and on message is used to receive the message which is being sent using this dot send message. And there are three things that you need to take care. The first is message. So this particular thing that you pass over here, that will be your message sender. So that will be basically ID or some port number of this. And basically at this particular point of time we won't use this. And this is send response. So this is basically a function that will be used to pass the message to the sender, to the particular sender, right? So this is the basic code structure. So now let's get into making of the extension. So this is the fifth extension. So we are demonstrating message passing, and this is the our previous extension, and I have made a GitHub repository on this. So I'll make sure to add the link of that GitHub repository in the description box. Make sure to check that out. Okay, so now getting started with the manifest.json file, and remember we are following our previous what you can say, the basic folder structure, folder hierarchy. So this is the basic folder hierarchy that we were using in the past examples also. So starting from the manifest.json file, the version should be 3, name, version and description, that will be completely dependent on you. You can make whatever you want, but make sure to include this. Then permissions. So as we will kind of using runtime, so we need these two permissions, scripting and the active tabs. Then we are also going to use background scripts. So we'll register our background script with this background and service worker to be as this script at this particular location. Then also we need the access of all the URLs, so we'll request the host permissions. Then inside the action will attach the pop-up and the default icon. So that's pretty much it about manifest.json file. Then this is the index.html file. So this is basically pop-up that you will see when someone clicks on the extension icon. Here we are linking the popup.js file, and we have just the button and this paragraph where we'll attach the response that we get. And inside this pop-up file, what we have is this send message. Okay, so this whenever we send message is like this button, right? So whenever someone clicks on this button, what we want to do is we want to send the message. So again, to send the message, we'll use chrome runtime dot send message. Now whatever message that you want to pass, we can pass. It need not necessarily to be this kind of object. You can pass this straight text also. And this is the callback function. So when we get the response, this will be done. And what will be done is inside the response, so basically inside this paragraph, it will just paste the reply that we have got. Now when we go for the background.js file, so this is the background script that will run completely independently of the web page and this Chrome extension. So basically this will keep track, or this will whenever some message it will receive. So basically we want to pass, or we want to see the data and we want to pass the out, what you can say, pass the output, right? So for that, again following the previous statements, so we'll use chrome runtime dot on message, right? And the three things, remember I told you, we need to make sure, which is message, sender and send response. So if the message dot type, so message that we are sending is an object, and in that object we have something called type. So we will see that if the type is greeting, so we are passing the greeting message from here, from the popup.js. And if here in the background.js we are seeing if that is greeting, we want to console log this, and we want to send the reply. And reply is also JSON, not JSON, but reply is also an object, and it has a parameter reply, and in reply we are passing this. So when we get some response, so we'll print that inside the parameter. So that is the basic example of message passing. So now let's load this extension, which is very easy. We just need to go on this Chrome extensions, then we can click on load extension, load unpack, and now we can just select the folder. So we have this message passing demo extension loaded, and there are no errors. So we can go for any page, we can click on this particular extension, and we have this button, and when we click on it, we'll see hello from the background script, and we click on inspect. So inside the console, also you will see received message from the popup, hello from the popup. So this is being printed from this background.js script, and this is message from the background script that is being printed on the popup. So that's it for this video. We have seen that how we can use Chrome.runtime API and how we can use message passing to have a very basic communication between different components of the extension. So that's it for this video. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep exploring.